All right, I'm going to bring my good buddy out here, Derek Shelton, manager. We got some off-season needs on this board right here. Manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay. If I'm you, and I want to ask you this question honestly, if I'm you, you guys can win this division going into next year. If you get a few bats in that lineup, are you in the suite pounding the table, ordering some quesadillas on the side, and some homeless buffs? But are you get me 2 offensive players, and we can really make a run at this?
Well, I don't know if there's any pounding the table, but we are talking about it, and I think your point is right. This is a division that we can win because our starting pitching is really good, and we do need to add bats. We have a pretty good core with Brian Reynolds and Oneil Cruz, and last year Joey Bart turned into a good offensive player, so we're in a good spot. We do need to add the way that your board showed up right there. We do need to add those things, but I feel really good about where we're at.
Tell me about Oneil Cruz and his transition to center field. Do you feel comfortable about that? Do you feel like he's going to, it will relax him some more, it'll bring out some more of his offensive prowess?
I think what we found out is that we wanted to do it during the season because of the fact we wanted 30 major league games. We didn't want to do it in winter ball. We didn't want to do it in drills. Metrically, it showed up better than we thought. We've taken a premier elite athlete, and there's a bunch of open space at PNC and said, go catch the ball. He made a couple plays that we were like, whoa, that was easy, just getting after the ball. He's just now learning the reads and breaks, but he's such a good athlete that it transitioned really nicely.
There's some guys, Brian Hayes and others that are starting to step forward. What do they need to do to make the adjustments to move this team forward?
I think in Key's case, it's just keeping him healthy. If you look at the body of work when he's been healthy, go back to 23, the last 3 months, he wasn't healthy in July, he only played 1 game, but the 3 months he was healthy, really good offensive player. Maybe one of the 5 best defenders in the game. He does things at third base so naturally that you just can't teach. He's having a good offseason. He's doing all baseball activities. He's swinging. He's taking ground balls. Now, it's early December, but we needed that because he missed so much time. Really encouraged about where he's at.
I like making predictions, and I'm going to make a prediction. You will have to remove Paul Skenes from no-hitters more than any manager in the history of baseball.
I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case. I may have done it last year a couple times.
You did.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's not by choice. We were very thoughtful. It's going to be a good problem to have. I will say that.
Part of you, though, you grew up like playing Little League, and you love the game so much. Talking to you, it's hard to take a guy away from a no-hitter, right?
Yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard to go have those conversations. I think last year he understood it a little bit more because we were very diligent about what the innings were going to be and how we were going to do it. I think it's going to get harder moving forward, but I'll tell you what, man, if he puts us in that spot or puts me in that spot, I'll take that all day long.
So that was the question I had, actually, was as he gets older, he looks like he's one of those guys who's a grinder. He wants the baseball.
Yeah.
He wants to go 7, 8, 9. That's going to get tougher.
It's going to get tougher, and I think he's built that way. We're dealing with a different human being. This guy's 6'6", he's big, he's strong, he's physical, the way he prepares. I think the way he prepares and is diligent about his work is the thing that's most impressive. He's 22 years old. This guy's got a thirst to learn. He's got a thirst to get better. That's really important. What he did this year was historic, a sub-2 ERA. You don't see that. One of the things we felt really strongly about was we wanted him to finish. We wanted him to pitch at Yankee Stadium. It was 2 innings. Right. It was the only time we told him, hey, it's going to be shortened. I called him in and said, hey, man, 2 innings, we're going to finish the year strong. Because the expectation, I think, to your guys' point is, next year we're playing longer. I want you to thrive for hey, let's go. Where are we at the end of the year? Where are we at in October? Those kind of conversations.
So if Santa's bringing Derek Shelton one gift, you don't have to mention a name. Is it a first baseman? Is it a bullpen piece? What would you want under the tree?
I think what I would want under the tree, or what we would want under the tree in Pittsburgh, is offense. We need to build off that offense. Brian Reynolds is a really good player, really 6th in the National League in hits, and kind of goes unnoticed. Oneil was 20-20 last year. We traded for IKF midseason. That's a good major league player for us. We need another bat in the middle of that lineup, and I think that's what we're looking for. So whether it's via the trade, whether it's signing a free agent, whatever comes to us, but that's something we need. We need to add to our bullpen. I agree with that, but you're asking a old hitting guy.
I know.
I'm gonna take a hitter.
Coach.
You're talking about the bullpen. Bednar had a kind of an up and down year last year. You feel comfortable? What's the status with him?
Yeah, status is good. He's in good spot. I mean, we just had both of our pitching guys, Oscar Marine and Brent Strom, were just with him this last weekend in Pittsburgh. We have to remember, for 2 years, this guy was one of the best closers in the game. He had a tough year last year. You know, he grinded through some things. He didn't have a full spring training. You know, he was hurt, started the season, had some bumps in the road. We saw glimpses, but we have to remember, as a major league player, the body of work stands out. For 2 years, this guy was an all-star, pitching in the back end of the game. I think we expect him to get back to that.
You would absolutely love him, too, by the way. He was on Team USA.
Right?
This guy's a killer.
Oh, I love it.
His whole family's in the lobby chanting USA. Bednar's special, dude.
It's a grinder. He had a tough year,
Yeah.
and there's no one that cares. I mean, this guy is a yinzer. He is born, bred there. I mean, he's got Steelers season tickets. I mean, he's all in. So if I'm betting on somebody to bounce back, I'm betting on David Bednar just because of the fact that that's who he is.
Going into last year, I had these feelings about the Kansas City Royals. I just thought it was going to be the year.
You got a feeling about the
I'm
Buccos?
all in on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's why.
Real quick,
sweet.
the Bubba
That's
Chandler
sweet to
kid
do
could win
some-
Rookie of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
That kid's legit. And he could make your rotation, am I right?
Yeah, he's special. I mean, he's another special arm that we have. I think the one thing that we've done a really good job of is we have a really nice group of young pitching arms, not just the guys that are in the big leagues. You talk about Chandler, you talk about Harrington, you talk about Barco, you talk about Ashcraft. I mean, that's a group down. Everyone knows you need pitching. We have pitching. To D-Rose point, yeah, we need to add some offense. I love that you're having that premonition.
I'm telling you.
I mean, I love that. So
No pressure now. No pressure.
Hey, pressure's fine.
Yeah,
let's take
You
it.
need some pressure.
The mindset to win is what we're going
can
with in
handle
spring
it.
training.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. You know, Mitch Keller and Skenes and Jones and that group.
Yeah.
But the mindset to win, that's what we're talking about in Pittsburgh. That's going to be part of the message, the first day of spring training. So come down and get fired up.
I can hear Sean Casey screaming
I
in the
know.
lobby right now.
He
He's gonna be
trimmed
on
up
a little
the
later.
beard, too, for the winter meetings. That thing was meaty at the end of the year. I mean, oh, my God.
Yeah, I did clean it up. I cleaned it up right before we got here.
Yeah, that's good.
I had to make sure it looked a little rough.
You're
Looked a little
fine.
rough.
Slick back. It's all working. Derek Shelton, can't wait to chat with your team in spring training. It's going to be a fun year for the
All
Pirates.
right,
okay?
I love it. I love your thoughts.
I'm all in
Go.
on the Buccos.
Go.
Remember I said that, folks. I'm all in on the Pittsburgh
it.
Pirates.